Chaos.radio. Music, podcasts, entertainment.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of NEWSWAVE, written, produced and recorded in the heart of Cornwall by the team here at Chaos Radio. I'm your host, Tom Howe, and I'll be guiding you through some of the insightful guests and exciting news content that we've enjoyed across Chaos Radio this past week. On today's show, we join Marcus Alleyne to hear all about Rock Choir Cornwall's incredible journey to New York City. From a surprise flash mob in Central Park to a stunning performance at the prestigious Carnegie Hall. Continuing a similar theme, we check in with Tracey Bailey, Musical Director of Acapella Sound and finalist for the Inspiring Women Network's Inspirational Women of the Year Award, to discuss her passion for singing, her own journey, and why she believes everyone has a voice worth sharing. As well as that, we take a trip to Shelterbox with Head Bookworm Thornhill to learn how their book club members have raised over £1.5 million to date. If all that wasn't enough, we hear from Dean, creator of the Sea Therapy Cornwall platform on TikTok, to discuss his work in raising awareness of mental health, raising over £1,200 for Mind, as well as his upcoming body wax fundraiser, of course.
NEWSWAVE.
Okay, if you love music, energy, and the power of voices coming together, then you'll love the Rock Choir. Led by the fantastic Marcus Alleyne, this dynamic choir is all about bringing people together through the joy of singing. There's no auditions and no pressure, just a pure passion for music. Chaos Radio's Janice Rose joined Marcus himself to learn more about what makes the Rock Choir so special, the impact it has on its members, and how you can get involved.
NEWSWAVE.
For listeners that don't know anything about the Rock Choir, can you tell us a little bit about the history?
Yeah, so Rock Choir is heading into its 20th year, would you believe? It was founded in 2005 by Caroline Redmond-Lusher, MBE, recent recipient of New Year's Honours, and it was founded by some parents. Caroline was a teacher at the time, and she wanted to find an effective way to teach some GCSE students how to get through some of their GCSE exams, and she just went back to basics and started teaching by rote. So she would sing something to them, they would sing it back, and they would work out how to learn songs and some harmonies, and it was really effective. And some of the parents of those children kind of cottoned on to what was going on and said, we'd really love you to start one for us. And that's how Rock Choir was formed in Farnham 20 years ago, and you know, it has gone from a handful of people in Caroline's back garden shed, and we have now 30,000 plus members nationally.
Wow, that is amazing. So what's the secret behind it? What makes it so popular, Marcus?
I think there's a couple of elements that make it really popular with so many different people from so many different walks of life. And I think first and foremost it's joy. I think Caroline has really instilled into all of the leaders that work across the UK that if you can make people smile and get them singing, that's half of the battle won already. I think secondly, it's the connectivity between people. For many of our members, Rock Choir is a bit of a lifeline, and they come here not just for singing together, not just for the opportunities and performance aspects, but they come here for the friendship. And we've got members here that have made real lifelong friends that have used Rock Choir as a coping mechanism. It's improved their mental health and well-being, and it really has, in some circumstances, literally saved lives.
What type of repertoire do you have?
We do everything from the Beatles to Beyonce and everything in between. So at the moment we've got some great songs. We've just finished learning Mountain by Sam Ryder, and that's been incredibly popular across the membership. And this week we are going into teaching our second song of the term, which is Two Hearts by Phil Collins, which is a proper golden oldie, and I think everyone's got some really fond memories attached to that song. They can all remember where they were when it was released. So, and then we've got Learn to Fly by the Foo Fighters to finish up this term. So that's just an example of the sort of length and breadth of the repertoire that we perform at Rock Choir.
The people that come here, do you audition?
No, absolutely not. It was really important for Caroline when she founded Rock Choir that we remove as many barriers as possible to make it as accessible as possible to as many people as we can. So there's no audition process. It's just people that enjoy singing or want to try singing for the very first time. It's for experienced singers that have been singing their entire life and just want a shift or a bit of a change. There's no need to read music as another potential barrier for some. So you can literally just turn up and sing. You don't need to have anything with you. Everything you need is given out by the leaders.
And I understand that you cover most of Cornwall, don't you? I don't quite know how you manage it. There's so many choirs that you run. Can you tell the listeners a little bit about your schedule?
It's a pretty busy one, I'm not going to lie. So Monday is our busiest day of the choir week, and we run 3 choirs on a Monday. So we've just come back from Falmouth, where we teach. We run a morning session at 11 o'clock, normally at the Falmouth Hotel. We then come here to Sydney, and we run one in St Piran's Hall at 2:30, and then later on this evening we're over in Helston at the Light and Life Centre. So that's our Mondays. Tuesday mornings we head right up to the east of the county and we run a session in Saltash. We then come back to the Clays and we're running St Austell down in Charlestown, and then Wednesday we head up to Truro. We've got a 7:30 evening choir. And then on the Thursday evening is our most recent choir, and we head up to the North Coast and we're running one in Wadebridge at the Town Hall at 7:30. So currently running 7 choirs across Cornwall with approximately 600 members.
Talking about performances, where has been the most special places that you've performed, and have you got any special performances coming up?
It's such a difficult question. So as a performer myself, I've performed in a number of really iconic venues. I think some of the most memorable is the Royal Albert Hall, where I was part of a massed chorus there. And I think from a conductor and a leader perspective, Birmingham Symphony Hall was a really special performance for me. Being born and raised in Birmingham before I moved to Cornwall at 11, it was really nice to go back home and perform on the same stage where I did my first ever classical performance. So that was really special. I think after that, I performed at the Menin Gate. So we've done the last post ceremony over at the Menin Gate, and I was able to take some members over there and perform in that really iconic, very special, very poignant performance there, and as part of that ceremony. In 2018, I was fortunate enough to take the Southwest Phil to New York, and we premiered the Great War Symphony there. This March, I've been even more fortunate to have a second invite back to Carnegie Hall. So we'll be taking 300 members from Rock Choir Southwest region to go and perform in Carnegie Hall on the 22nd of March, which is the first time Rock Choir's ever gone stateside as well. So it's a lot of firsts for a lot of people. Later on in the year, we are booking out the NEC in Birmingham, and we are pulling together 13,000 members from across the UK to come and perform with a live band. It's going to be like the ultimate Christmas show with 13,000 members and audience members as well. So we've got a lot coming up. We're back to Boardmasters again this year, which is another favourite of the members here. So there's loads to kind of choose from, and I don't know if I could have a favourite, but there is something very special about being able to represent Cornwall in Carnegie Hall in New York with Rock Choir.
That is going to be so epic. And looking at your face when we're talking about this, there is joy. And what else do you get out of, doing these performances, running all these choirs? It must just keep you so well.
Do you know, it really does. I quite often get people that are concerned about my burnout and being run down. But do you know what? It's since 2012, it's never felt like a day's work. I'm so blessed and fortunate to be able to turn up to work, quote unquote, and to just enjoy the sessions or the performances as much as the members do. I've always said my reason and rationale behind music making is not necessarily to be able to kind of showcase excellence. It's about access, and I think the more people that we can get singing, that we can get performing and working together as a team, the better it is for their health and well-being. And my job is purely to facilitate that. It's about enabling those members, those performers, to do their best whenever they can, to have a sense of achievement at the end of a session or the end of a performance, and for that to be shared. And I think that's the most important thing for me.
really, really busy in here and you're totally filling up. So I appreciate you need to get on. But if people are interested and think, yeah, I really fancy having a go at that, where would they find you? Have you got any social links?
Yeah, you can find us across Insta, Facebook. We're on X, we're on LinkedIn, like most of the mainstream social media platforms, and YouTube. And you just type in Rock Choir. That's all you need to do. If you're looking for something specifically to Cornwall, Rock Choir Cornwall on Facebook and Instagram, we'll be able to show you kind of what we're doing. We did a flash mob last weekend, that's on there. We did a video montage of all 7 choirs singing the same thing, so you can pop along and see kind of how we work and how we operate. But I think if anyone's listening that is even just considering briefly singing with Rock Choir, give it a go. Give it a go. Your first session is completely free. You can join up, sign up for a taster session, and experience Rock Choir in all its glory. And my only role is to get people singing and get people smiling, whether they come back into the room or not. Of course, we would love them to, but if they don't, but I've made them smile and I've made them sing, my job is done.
Marcus, it's been an absolute joy talking to you. I'm just going to come back again really soon, especially when you're doing the Foo Fighters, because I think that's going to be so epic. Thank you so much for your time today.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and it's so great to be able to kind of check in and reconnect with Chaos again.
NEWSWAVE.
Wow, what an incredible journey the Rock Choir have been on. They were in New York City, surprising crowds with a flash mob performance in Central Park before taking to the stage at the prestigious Carnegie Hall. What an incredible achievement. If you'd like to follow their journey or find out more, check out Rock Choir Cornwall, led by Marcus Alleyne, on Facebook. Right, time for our next guest now, although we're staying with Janice Rose, in discussion with the amazing Tracey Bailey, musical director of Acapella Sound and a finalist for the Inspiring Women Network's Inspirational Women of the Year Award. Now, Tracey is passionate about the power of singing and loves sharing that joy with others. In this discussion, they are talking all things singing, its impact, Tracey's journey, and why she believes everyone has a voice worth sharing.
NEWSWAVE.
Today I'm here with Tracey Bailey, musical director of Acapella Sound, and she's had one of those weeks you can only dream of. Exciting, unexpected, and truly unforgettable.
Yes, quite unforgettable.
Firstly, what was it like being a finalist in the Inspirational Woman of the Year Award, and what does that recognition mean to you?
It was amazing. I was so honoured to have been nominated, and then shortlisted as a finalist was a bit surreal, to be honest. And then I told my chorus, because 2 of my chorus members had nominated me, and I had no idea. We were going to sing at the event, which we were very excited about. Inspiring women singing is just fabulous. And then at the event, the chorus sang, and I think we went down a storm. We got such good feedback from the wonderful, inspiring people in the room. And then I was shortlisted into the final 3. I mean, how amazing is that? To me, I'm very passionate about singing. You know that. I don't need to tell you, and I'm sure it comes across to anybody who meets me. I'm passionate about singing. I feel everybody can sing. I feel that singing and music in schools is going down rather than coming up. Not everywhere, but in a lot of places. And I meet loads of adults who walk through the door here to say, oh, I was told I couldn't sing. And they haven't sung since. And then they come through the door and they have a go and realise they can sing, and they've missed out on wonderful years of just performing. And the phenomenal feedback from this group, Acapella Sound, from my community choir in Lostwithiel Carna, from Barter Musical Theatre group in Truro that I do, all of that, from young and old, saying how much singing has meant to them and the difference it's made in their lives is just truly humbling and actually very emotional. So I'll try really hard not to get all teary, but it is just very emotional. And I'm sure that all of those inspiring women who were finalists will feel very similar, because I'm sure they've all had the same sort of feedback from people that they've inspired.
When the embassy was talking about you, I was getting quite teary-eyed listening to it. What does it feel like to have that sort of positive affirmation being spoken in front of a room full of other inspiring women?
At one stage I thought, are they really talking about me? To me, it's just singing. But to other people, it's not. And it's life-changing. And all of the things that they've been doing is life-changing. But to have somebody say, I hadn't left the house since COVID, and partner had passed away, and just finding themselves again in a group of like-minded ladies who come along and sing. I mean, we're an unauditioned group. People walk through the door sometimes on a weekly basis, it would seem, and just enjoy it. And to hear that feedback in the room, yeah, it was almost like an out-of-body experience. I was almost like looking at myself, listening to that and thinking, are they talking about me? And they were. And it's very humbling, actually, really humbling.
Can you tell me a little bit about the history behind Acapella Sound? How did it start and how has it evolved over the years?
Okay, so Acapella Sound started about 5 years ago as a competitive chorus. And with just a few members, but we were quite a competitive, highly competitive chorus, and we did very well in things that we were doing. And then COVID happened, and Acapella Sound went down to about 5-6 people. And so we kind of changed venues because we were in Roach. We changed venues, we changed day, and we decided that actually through COVID, we didn't want to just compete. We wanted to perform, we wanted to entertain, and we wanted to be open and accessible to anybody, any lady who wanted to come and sing. And there are other groups out there. So if people are listening and thinking, oh, well, that's just for females, or those who identify as females, then actually there are loads of groups out there. So just look around, because there are community choirs and places to go and sing both day and evening that are available to so many people. And so we met in the car park. We put football cones 2 feet apart or 6 feet apart, whatever it was, 6 feet, I think. I bought a big ruler and I had to make sure they were all measured out. And we met in the car park until they started to lift the restrictions, and then we came into the hall. We had a couple of learn to sing or come and sing with us, sing into spring. And over that time, we have grown to plus 70 people singing joyously, non-auditioned, having the best time. And we do contemporary a cappella, so we are 4-part unaccompanied harmony. We don't have any backing. We just have a little pitch pipe. It blows a note, and hopefully away we go in the right key. Sometimes that doesn't work out, but hey-ho, 90% of the time it does. And we have a great time, and we've been out and about performing now for the last 3 years, so we're 3 years old in this new format, and we are just growing. And I would still say to people out there, if you want to come and sing, then just walk through the door. We can guarantee you'll have a very friendly welcome, you'll do lots of fun singing, and quite a lot of the time we have cake too.
So what do you enjoy most about leading the choir, and what are some of the challenges you face?
Leading the choir to me is like fuel. It's my fuel. It's my health and well-being. So through the week, we all get drained of everything that we have. We give lots to other people, and we give lots to work and lots to families. And this is my time. This is for me. And we all need a little bit of me time. And even in very busy lives, both work and at home, sometimes to just have a couple of hours of me time to come and be with like-minded people, have a laugh, have a sing. It's like my fuel. I come in running on empty, and I go completely filled up, ready to go through the next week. And that's what singing does for me, for my health and well-being. It fills me up with stuff that makes me ready to face whatever this week is going to throw at me. And next Monday, I'll come through the door running on empty, and I will leave filled up. And I'm hoping that that's what these ladies also feel. Well, they come through the door, they keep coming, and they keep coming back. So I'm hoping that we're all getting something out of it. Challenges. Well, there's always challenges. There's challenges in everything you do. You know, when you're an unauditioned group, sometimes you have challenges of matching vocals and voices. But when you're 4-part harmony, you can normally find a part that fits most voices. I'm happy to work with people who struggle a little bit with it. We don't have to read music, so we have tracks, because sometimes reading music is a step too far. We have music, we buy music, because it's important to see what's happening in the music, and actually people are starting to understand, oh, I know what that means now with my music. So people are actually getting a little bit of music education. They're learning vocal skills, it's improving breathing. And did you know that when you sing in a group, when you actually syncopate all your music, you can actually syncopate heartbeats too?
Now, I said you had a really exciting week, and this Friday we had another, shall we say, triumph when Acapella Sound won the Best Barbershop Group and Best Choir at Truro Music Festival for the third year in a row. What do you think sets this group apart?
Oh, I think it's fun. I think that the sheer energy and vibrancy of singing together with songs that you love, with people that you love, just outshines things. We had such a great time with there was wonderful Celtic chords and the fabulous Truro male choir. Both groups, amazing. And to be honest, I think it could have been anybody's award. We were just very lucky that whatever we did, we inspired the adjudicator at the time to think, actually, I think they are the overall winners. And 92 marks, an outstanding score, is just phenomenal. But all of the scores in that class were so good. And honestly, congratulations to the other two groups. But she did comment on our energy. She commented on our focus, and she commented on our blend and balance of voices and how amazing it was when they all came together. I think the adjudicator even used the sexy word on Friday. Goodness me, I never thought I'd hear that. But we were singing There Are Worse Things I Could Do and Could It Be Magic? And they really did deliver some of that attitude. And hey, why shouldn't we?
What's next for Acapella Sounds? Have we got any exciting events or performances coming up?
Right, now, well, we're performing at Lost Fest on the 18th of May. We are performing at the Royal Cornwall Show on the Friday. I can't remember the date, but it's the Friday of the Royal Cornwall Show, and we're doing 3 spots there. We are also going to Tregony Park. They're raising some money for the RNLI. That's the last Monday of June. I believe around the 17th or the 19th of July, we're at Helstonbury, which is great. If you've never been to Helstonbury, I definitely recommend it. And then in August, we are performing at Foy Regatta on the Sunday on the Quay, which will be a beautiful venue. And then we've been asked to perform at the Crantock Ale Festival in August. And I think then we're having a little rest for maybe a couple of weeks until we see what the autumn brings us. Who knows, we might even put on our own concert.
Well, I'll be really looking forward to that. So how do people find out more about Acapella Sound and follow your progress and to follow where you're having these events?
So we have a Facebook page. I think most people now have some sort of social media. So we have a Facebook page. You can just put in Acapella Sound and you'll find us. There's probably a big picture of ladies wearing black and silver there, and have a look through because all of our dates are listed on there. We have a website and you can just come along any Monday night to Laddock Community Hall at 7:00. Just come along, have a go, or just watch if you think, actually, I might be interested, but I might not be. And we also offer at least 4 weeks free singing for anybody who comes. So we never say, come through the door and we'll start charging. Come through the door, have a go. Give yourself a couple of weeks to see if it's something that you'd like to do. And if you'd like to do, we'd love you to come and join with us.
Tracey, it's been such a delight chatting with you. Inspirational Woman of the Year finalist, winner of the barbershop class, winner of the choir class at Truro Music Festival. You are just phenomenal. Thank you for being so amazing.
Oh, well, I think you're pretty amazing too. I think, come on, we're all amazing, us inspirational women. So, and just keep being amazing because it's really important. Just love what you do and everybody will shine.
NEWSWAVE.
What an inspiring conversation with Tracey Bailey there. Alongside leading Acapella Sounds, she's also the vocal director for Barter Theatre Academy, where she helps young performers find their voices. And their recent performance of Beauty and the Beast at the Quay Theatre here in St Austell was exceptional. If any young people are interested in getting involved in theatre, check out Barter Theatre Academy Truro on Facebook. And if you'd love to be part of a vibrant choir, you can also follow Acapella Sound on Facebook. Right, I'm Tom Howe and you're listening to NEWSWAVE on Chaos Radio. Now, you've probably heard of Shelterbox, a Cornwall-based disaster relief charity who provide vital aid worldwide in response to conflicts, natural disasters and climate crises. But have you heard of the Shelterbox Book Club? To date, their dedicated bookworms have read almost 120,000 books, raising around £1.5 million for the charity. Joining Brian and Jordan to talk more about the book club was Catherine Thornhill, head bookworm at Shelterbox.
NEWSWAVE.
What does the average day look like for the head bookworm at Shelterbox? I love it.
Thank you. So technically I am the book club coordinator, but I thought we should go with something a bit more whimsical.
Absolutely.
What does a typical day look like? We've got a community of 2,500 members all across the UK. So typically my days start with responding to some messages from them via social media and sometimes by email as well. Today I've got a bunch of books arriving for the next few cycles. So I'll be having a flip through of those to make sure they're like up to muster for our very discerning reading audience. And then there's some Shelterbox meetings about things that affect book club members. So, for instance, our Beyond the Box magazine, which goes to lots of our supporters, but also our book club members. So just seeing what I can do to help with that. And then working with the wider team on ways to kind of spread the word about the Shelterbox Book Club. So through interviews like this, or press ads, or like festivals and ways that we can reach a wider audience and tell them about the work we're doing. And then hopefully on an average day, I can squeeze in a tiny bit of reading.
Yeah, that's the most important thing as well. I want to talk a little bit more about how you choose the books later on. But first, for those who might not be aware, could you just tell us a little bit about Shelterbox and the work that they carry out?
Yeah, absolutely. So Shelterbox is an international disaster relief charity, as you said, and we provide emergency shelter and household items to families who've lost their homes around the world. So, for instance, at the moment we're supporting people in Gaza, in Mozambique, in Cameroon, people fleeing the conflict in Sudan, like a huge different range of places and context as to why people have lost their homes. And then we give them the items that hopefully help them to get back to kind of a base level so they can start planning recovery. So things like tents and tarpaulins to give them like an immediate shelter. And then household items like water filters, mosquito nets, blankets, that sort of thing. Like the things that you need to be able to not be worried about, like how you stay warm, how you make a meal, how you're able to stay up past sunset. So yeah, those are the items we support people with. And yeah, it's led by the communities themselves and what they need, because every disaster is different and every set of people is obviously different as well.
Absolutely. And obviously this requires a lot of donations, which is why I feel like the Shelterbox Book Club is such a wonderful idea. And it's something that's a little bit different as well. I don't think I've actually seen something like this before. Could you tell us a little bit more about the book club and how it works?
Yeah, definitely. So as you say, like everything that Shelterbox does is because of the generous support of our donors around the world. And there's lots of different ways that people can support Shelterbox, and the book club is just one of those. But it's a kind of a subscription product. So you pay £10 to £15 a month and you get a book in the post every 6 weeks. But the twist is that all of those books are from the countries around the world that we're working in. So it's a way of connecting our readers to the people that they are supporting through their donations. And then we also do like a series of events to discuss the books. So like your standard book club discussion on Zoom, but also wherever possible, we get the authors to join us live from their homes on Zoom. And that's really amazing. It's a really special way to kind of finish reading a book because it gives you just a completely different perspective and gets you to, I feel like every book I've ever read, I've had questions about why and how. And when you get to talk to the author at the end, you get to literally ask all of those questions. And that's amazing. But yeah, each book you get in the post comes with a cover letter, which has a bit of information about somebody that we at Shelterbox have been able to support because of our donors. and something that links that person with the book we're about to read. So it's a way of kind of deepening your connection with the people we support, but also learning more about the world at the same time.
Absolutely. And how did the idea for the entire book club come about? I was talking earlier about how it's quite of an out of the box idea, but I think it works really, really well.
Thank you. It wasn't my idea, so I can't take credit. It was sort of it was a group idea. We were just trying to find ways that we could kind of give something back to our supporters when they support us, but also find that way of really connecting people to the people that they're supporting. So the way I think about it with charity is that we're sort of a middleman between people who want to help and people who need help.
Yeah.
And the less we exist in the middle is sort of the better, because you're really just wanting to be connecting these two people, or lots of people, but and kind of what better way for people to really understand each other than through stories. It's sort of like we can't actually go to many of these places, but we can read stories and feel like a much greater connection. So yeah, it was a combination of like wanting to find something that would kind of add to the donation, but also wanting to really deepen that relationship.
Yeah, that's really, really beautiful. You said that you get a new book every 6 weeks with this. Do you need to read the book within the 6 weeks for it to kind of, I guess, to get everything out of it?
So ideally, because the events are then live at the end of that 6 weeks. So that would be nice. And actually, before I took over as Head Bookworm, I was a member of the book club, which was very fun. And I would say I managed to read, when it wasn't my job, like every other book on time and do it properly. And when I did it properly, it was really great.
Yeah.
But life gets in the way sometimes. So we record all of the events. So if you can't join us live, you can catch up when you can catch up. So I hope that there's like a gentle amount of pressure on members to read with us, but that it doesn't feel overwhelming.
Absolutely,
because they can catch up whenever they need. But it's nice to have a reason to read something. Like it can be quite easy to, like, life is so distracting. It can be quite easy to just put down your book and pick up your phone or watch something or get distracted. And if you have a deadline, because it's worth doing it so that you can personally ask your questions of the author, then I think it helps to motivate you. Yeah. So
absolutely. And do you kind of stick to any specific genres when picking the books, or can it be pretty much anything goes?
So because Shelterbox is focused on people, we want to help people wherever they are. And then everyone who's a member of a book club is interested in those people that we're supporting. I choose really character-led titles, so with strong characters and people that we can connect with. But the genres, I would say there was probably more. It was more focused at the beginning. There was more like autobiographies, biographies, and then quite a lot of literary fiction, which I think just means doesn't fit into another category. Yeah. And then, but now we've been trying a lot of things. So we've done some like crime thrillers, we've done a couple of fantasy books, a couple of rom-coms. So there's a real range. But yeah, it's always got that focus on people. We haven't had any like Animal Farm allegories yet. Yeah.
No, I love it. I think it's a good way to kind of expand your reading. Definitely, I'm very personally in my own reading. I love like chick lit. I like fantasy, and I kind of stay in those lanes. I'm currently trying to branch out with the horror, but I think if I had something like the book club, it would really kind of open my mind to so many different more genres and so many different more authors as well.
Yeah, and it's actually one of the things that our members say most when they're telling us what they value about book club is that it helps them to find books they would never have chosen themselves, but that they have found real value in. And I suppose that's my role, is to make sure the books are good. so that even though they're from lots of different genres and lots of different countries and stories that you might not have found in a bookshop or might not have picked up yourself, like often they're books that have been published quite a long time ago. So things that have kind of missed their moment in the spotlight. But hopefully the running theme is that, one, you can feel good about it because you know that you're also supporting the work that Shelterbox is doing around the world, and two, you're getting to learn like more through these amazing stories.
Absolutely, yeah. We've kind of touched on it a little bit, but kind of apart from receiving your brand new book every 6 weeks and also learning about these other countries and the people in these other countries, what other perks do book club members get?
Yeah, so the book is the top perk, but the events that we do are really, really wonderful. The community that we have is so special. And I just feel really honoured to be able to like be in their presence so often. But the discussions are amazing. And because we've got 2,500 members, we've got people coming to the book with so many different perspectives. And so I feel like I never come out of the discussion with the same opinion of the book as I had at the beginning.
Yeah.
Which is super interesting. And then we also have like lots of people who have personal experiences of the countries that we're reading books from. So they bring their own sort of stories to it. And that's really wonderful and eye-opening. And then the Q&As are amazing. I've got sort of already talked about how amazing they are. But we're so lucky to be able to get all these authors who say yes to these Q&As and join us. And are so generous with their time and their answers. And then we also have social media. So we have like an Instagram page and Facebook and a private Facebook group. And that's kind of more space for the community to talk to each other. And I'm constantly finding interesting little literary tidbits to put into the group and the page and share things that I think we kind of have a like-minded group who are interested in books, but also in making a difference in the world. So trying to find stories that will entertain them on a daily basis as well. It's a combination of the physical book, the events, and then the community itself.
Yeah. And
that sense of knowing that you're making a difference. It's almost like you get to indulge, if you're a bookworm, you sort of get to indulge a bit of your life that you love and buy yourself a present, but you don't have to feel bad about it because you're also supporting other people. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like the perfect gift for any bookworm in your life as well. And obviously I spoke about it a little bit earlier in the show. Mother's Day is just around the corner. So this could be absolutely perfect for your bookworm mother or even your friends, anyone pretty much.
Yeah, definitely. My mum is actually a member of book club. And so we have mini book club together, which is really sweet. So you can sign up for yourself for £10 to £15 a month, or you can buy a 6 or 12 month voucher for somebody else.
Lovely.
And then they can redeem that whenever works for them. Mother's Day is a fantastic option. It's a very good mum present. Actually, we have a lot of Shelterbox mums in the club. Like a lot of people who work at Shelterbox have bought it for their mums.
Oh, I love that.
And I feel like we should have like a mini Shelterbox mum book club.
Yeah. I really, really like it. And I've said it so many times, but I think it's an absolutely fantastic idea. And to just keep reading as well, just in general, like I could talk for ages on that. But it is just such a wonderful, wonderful idea. And it must be a really, really nice job to do as well, just in general.
Yeah, it's lovely. And the people I get to work with and for are, inspirational.
Amazing. And just a reminder, how can people get involved, like website, social media, etc.?
Yeah, so if you just Google Shelterbox Book Club, it'll come up in its many forms. But you can also find it just on our website, or if you find Shelterbox or the Shelterbox Book Club on Instagram, Facebook. We're also on Threads and Blue Sky and all the other ones. The Shelterbox website is the main place, and then there's a get involved section, and you can find the book club there. Or I believe it's also on the homepage, but you might have to scroll a tiny bit. That's where everything sits, and you can sign up on there and find out a bit more about it. There's a whole FAQ section, so if I haven't answered anything, you can find it there.
Fabulous. Thank you very, very much for joining me today. I am now absolutely obsessed with the book club. I feel like I might have to go and get myself involved with that, because that sounds so, so good.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
That's no problem at all. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
That's okay. thank you very much to Head Bookworm at Shelterbox, Catherine Thornhill, for joining us this morning to talk all about the Shelterbox Book Club. If you'd like any more information, like we've just said, just visit shelterbox.org.
NEWSWAVE.
Thank you so much to Head Bookworm at Shelterbox, Catherine Thornhill, for joining us on Chaos Radio to talk all about the Shelterbox Book Club. If you'd like to learn more, visit shelterbox.org. Right, joining presenter Ross Lannon was Dean, the man behind the Sea Therapy Cornwall platform on TikTok. Hailing from the local community in Mevagissey, Dean created his social media page to raise awareness about mental health by sharing his own battles and creating a safe environment by live streaming his walks along the Cornish coast. In this chat, Dean shares the fact that he has raised over £1,200 for the Mind charity, as well as discussing his upcoming, wait for it, body wax fundraiser.
NEWSWAVE.
Do you want to just tell us a little bit of the background of how you came about creating this page?
Obviously, so I suffer with mental health problems myself, on and off for years and years. Sea has always been my calm place. It's always been whenever I'm struggling, I go down to the sea and it seems to sort of take it away for a minute. And I found I use TikTok because it's the biggest platform in the world. One day I decided, you know what, there's thousands of people out there struggling like myself, and if this calms me, it could potentially calm plenty of others. So I went live about 7 weeks ago down on the harbour in Mevagissey, and it just blew up. It just went crazy. I've met some amazing people on there, and like I said, not everyone is as lucky as me to live where I live, so I took everyone with me and they love it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
There's something about the coast, isn't there? There's something about the water that just, I don't know, it relaxes us, it makes us just, it improves your overall mind and well-being, doesn't it?
It's just the sound of the seagulls, the waves on the rocks, you know, it's just watching the sea, it takes it all away for that split minute, you know, and if one person watches that with me and feels the same, I've done it right. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Obviously Mevagissey, I'm not being biased, but you can't get much more beautiful than Mevagissey. It's just one of them places that there isn't many people out there that would say it's a negative. Yeah. So sitting down on the harbour and taking the people around with me, we usually get the sunrises and speak to the fishermen, see the seals, and it just helps a lot of people, mate.
It's great to see, it is, and I love the fact that you know, you're using your platform for something good. You've talked quite openly about your own personal mental health struggles, and the fact that you're now kind of using that to help others is really brave.
The thing is, Ross, I'm still on my journey, so I'm not fixed by a long shot. I'm not a professional, but I want people to be able to talk to me, and if I can send them or signpost them to somebody that's got, you know, a bit more experience or professionalism behind them, that's the way to do it. I'm not a professional, I'll make that clear, but I like to help, and if anyone wants to reach out, obviously they know they can come on my page, chuck me a message. We've got a Discord group as well, everyone talks to each other on that all day, helps each other. It's just a community now, it's brilliant.
Yeah. And then you say you're not professional there, and of course, like, that's an important important point to make, because obviously some people do need that more professional help, but on the other hand, some people also do just want your everyday person who is relatable and authentic to talk to and share struggles and coping mechanisms with, and that's kind of what I've seen you doing.
So it's going off obviously on my personal experience of mental health, so anything that I've, you know, dealt with or seen in the past or I'm dealing with, it sort of, they can take that from me. But any professional advice is not, I can't do that, obviously, you know.
Of course, yeah. So tell me a little bit more about this kind of community that you've created. Like, what's the response been like?
It's been amazing. I tell you what, honestly, I won't go into too much detail about some of the negatives, but those negatives have all been turned into positives. These people that I've spoken to have had people in psychiatric units that can't get out. They're in a really clinical position, in a room with nothing, and they're watching me out on the harbour, seeing the boats, the seals, all that, and they love it. Like I said, we've made a Discord group, so it's a safe place. Only I can bring people into that, chat with them first, get them in, and they all talk daily with each other. And I would say through TikTok in the 7 weeks that I've been doing it, I've made some lifelong friends, some people that I'll stay in touch with for the rest of my life. And they're awesome. They're awesome people. They really are.
People often underestimate the power of online friendships as well. And whilst a lot of the time social media can be seen as like this negative tool, there are so many positives that can come out of it. And I completely agree. I've made some best friends through this app as well. And I think it's amazing what can come out of it. And you're obviously benefiting from that as well.
Hugely. It's not just my followers that are benefiting from this. It's me as well. Obviously, knowing that these people are enjoying it and becoming my friends and stuff like that, it's nice, isn't it? You know, it's giving me a bit of self-worth at the same time, you know, like as much as I struggle, this is really helping. Yeah. It really is.
And have you found kind of like the routine of this kind of community has helped you with your day-to-day routine as well? Because I imagine there's somewhat of an expectation of like, right, I need to push myself, I need to get out, I need to go for a walk today,
100%.
I need to go live, because people are relying on you as well now.
So throughout my journey, there has been some times where I have struggled and I haven't been able to get up and do stuff, and I have had messages on them days to say, are you okay? Everyone's checking up on me. Also the odd message to say, oh, I've really missed your live this morning, I could have really done with it this morning, and that makes you think, I need to do this tomorrow. You know, I need to get back out there. It is good. And the routine, I'm Asperger's as well, so routine is really important to keep that routine going. So yeah, again, I thank my viewers as much as what I'm doing. I thank them. They're the real push behind it.
Yeah, and a point that we need to make abundantly clear as well is the fact that for those that maybe don't know how live streaming on TikTok in particular works, is that on TikTok some people can send what's called gifts, which turns into monetary donations, and you are using these donations and these gifts to donate to charity. Yeah,
so I obviously raise money for Mind, the mental health charity. So what I use the app for is obviously gifting with TikTok. People can gift whilst I'm on a live. Unfortunately, so for instance, if they was to gift £1, TikTok takes 70p of that £1. All right, so the Mind are only gaining 30p from that. But there is a instant donation sticker that I put onto my live, which if they click on that, 100% of their donation goes to Mind, which is incredible. Fantastic. I think we've raised in the 7-8 weeks about £1,100-1,200 all in all.
Fantastic.
Through a GoFundMe, the instant donation and the gifting is about £1,100-1,200.
That is incredible. You must be good. So proud of that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Mind have been amazing for me when I've been on the wards and been out in the community. You're not just a number to Mind. They're very personal. They're great. And it's now my time to give back while I can. And obviously all these guys that are gifting and stuff, amazing. And I thank you all because we wouldn't have done it without you.
It is brilliant. And like I said, I've followed you for a while. I've seen the community you've built, and you know, community is at the heart of what we do here at Chaos as well. And I just love the fact that you're helping so many people, and also, being able to support such an important charity.
And they're helping me. Yeah, which is great. It's like a circle of greatness.
Win-win. That's what we like.
Exactly.
And more often than not, Dean, I kind of want to just touch on the fact that there's still very much a stigma around men's mental health in particular, isn't there? And the fact that you're not afraid to actually talk about this so publicly is fantastic.
I think for me, obviously, being on the wards and stuff, I met a lot of men in the hospitals, and we sat and we spoke, and I had some of the most, I know this sounds crazy, but I had a lot of really in-depth conversations with the men about mental health. And outside the hospital, you don't have them conversations. The men they'll be sat in the pub, and they don't do it. Women can sit and have a cup of tea. I'm not taking it away from women, because women suffer too, but they'll sit and have a cup of tea with a friend that they can feel a bit more at ease to talk with. Whereas men, they've got that front that needs to be taken down.
Absolutely.
It is a big stigma on men's mental health, but it's getting a lot better. It's if you look on the TikTok app, there is a lot of stuff about men's mental health, and it needs to start growing a bit more. I do believe that.
It does. No, I fully support that. And obviously through the work that you're doing through your page, going on your live stream walk, showing the sea and the Mevagissey area, you're venturing into other fundraising options. And
this was coming.
Yeah, you do a big sigh there because we need to talk about a special event that is coming up in around about 8 days' time.
Is it that close?
It is that close. Dean, forgive me for saying this, you're a rather hairy man.
Oh, yes. I am.
You've signed up for a charity shave.
I wouldn't say shave, it's a wax.
Wax, okay, let's go with
wax.
Don't
take that away from me. A shave would be easy, Ross.
All right, a charity wax. Tell us about it.
So, on the 28th of March, in the tavern at Mevagissey, it's the Harbour Tavern, I am having a chest and back wax. Yes, full chest, full back.
Ouch.
I know, mate.
All right, so
I know.
I mean, I fully understand your reasons for doing this in wanting to, support the charity more, but you've really thrown yourself under the bus here, haven't you?
I'll tell you why I'm doing it really, Ross. Obviously, it's to raise funds for Mind, but I have always been really body conscious because of my hair. It's been a big part of my life. I've not really took my kids swimming. I don't take my top off on the beach. It's been because I'm so hairy. Yeah, it's always been a thing for me mentally. And now I think, taking that top off in that pub in front of all those people, live streamed on TikTok, is a big thing for me. And at the same time, I can make some money for charity. So, and get all the community together as well, which is good. I've got a lot of people from my page that are coming from all over the country.
I was going to say, we've literally just had a comment come in from Luke. Luke says, I'm travelling from Wales to see it.
Wicked. Who? Luke?
Which is incredible.
Who's Luke? Is he from my community?
I believe so. Luke will do it.
Ah, he's coming, Lukey boy. Good effort, mate.
So, yeah, you got people travelling all over to see this. And I think there's probably an element of, like you said, you've made friends here. Some people want to come and see you just for the laugh of it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they're coming to watch me cry, I think.
Yeah. Well, okay, so remind us, when and where this is
So
this
it's
happening?
on the 28th of March at the Harbour Tavern in Mevagissey. So it's the one on the front there.
Okay.
And it'll be at 7 p.m. and we will have lots of fun. There is a little surprise act at the end and then a DJ to take the night off. Obviously, Shan, one of my followers, her kids are cooking cakes, so they'll be sold there to raise some money, which is nice of her. And yeah, the landlords have kindly donated the flat above for the evening, which will be nice as well, so I get to wake up with a view of the sea in the morning, sore.
Perfect. You could be very sore.
I know, yeah. Like Shan just said, the aloe vera's at the ready, don't worry.
This is great, but you do realise that once you complete this challenge, it's only going to escalate.
I know.
Bigger and better.
I know. I have got some stuff in the pipelines for the future. Obviously, I'm not going to give out too much yet.
Yeah.
But anybody that does want to watch this, it's going to be live streamed on my TikTok platform, which is Sea Therapy Cornwall. And again, it's on Friday at 7. Not this Friday. The following Friday at 7 p.m.
Brilliant. So, yes, make sure you are following Dean to watch that one. If you can't make it there in person to support, make sure you go online and watch it. I will be watching online. I'll be there, Dean. Don't you worry. It's going to be good.
I am actually auctioning off the first strip. So anybody that's there that's got a heavy pocket and wants to see me cry and pull off the first strip, make sure you're there.
Fantastic. I love it. Dean, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you.
I appreciate the opportunity to come and talk about it, mate.
It is great to actually meet you in person and just, help spread the word of the brilliant work you're doing in the community. I want to just give you the opportunity now on a final note. Okay. If anybody's listening and they want some advice or anything, like you said, I know you're not professional, but you are a human at the end of the day, and you've gone through battles and you're helping people. So anybody listening today, what advice would you give regarding, mental health and staying strong?
The biggest message I've got really is you are not alone. There is a lot more people out there struggling than you believe. People that will be out there showing on face that they're happy and they're smiley and they're the class clown as such, you know what I mean? And you're not alone. Like, talk, get hold of Mind are really good. They'll signpost you from what you're talking about to them. they'll signpost you to who they believe is the best person for you. Or come onto my page, See Therapy Cornwall, have a chat with me. I'm not professional, like I said, but it helps to talk. Reach out is the way I say it. Reach out. You aren't alone, guys. Honestly, it gets better.
Oh, brilliant. No, some very wise words there. Thank you for that, Dean.
No, thank you for having me in, mate. Appreciate it.
Final plug, where can people find you? What's the username?
So it's See Therapy Cornwall. See Therapy Cornwall, and that's on the TikTok platform. Also, there is a GoFundMe in my bio for the wax. If anyone wants to chuck a couple of pounds on there, that would be brilliant. But again, just tune in, laugh, spread the love, tap the screen, share it to your friends. But that's again on the 28th of March at 7 p.m.
7 p.m, 28th of March. Make sure you are getting involved and supporting that.
NEWSWAVE.
Okay, that's all we've got time for on this week's edition of NEWSWAVE. A big Chaos Radio thank you to Marcus Alleyne of Rock Choir Cornwall, to Tracey Bailey, Musical Director of Acapella Sound, and a finalist for the Inspiring Women Network's Inspirational Women of the Year Award, to Head Bookworm at Shelterbox, Catherine Thornhill, and Dean of Sea Therapy Cornwall. And as ever, a final thank you to you for listening and helping support local journalism to thrive. To catch up on all our coverage, as well as to check out our extensive back catalogue of interviews and shows, head on over to chaos.radio. And remember, if you have a local news story that you'd like to share with us, email news@chaos.radio or search Chaos Radio UK across socials. That's it, you're up to date here on Chaos. I'm Tom Howe. Thanks very much for listening.
NEWSWAVE.
Chaos.radio. Music, podcasts, entertainment.